welcome to Looking Glass Letterbox and the general reading for February 2021 for Libra. This is a general reading, so it's not going to connect or resonate for everyone out there, but hopefully there's something interesting or curious or helpful that you can take with you to consider as you move throughout your February. If what's happening here is not applicable to you, doesn't resonate with you, feel free to check your other sign placements. What's happening for you or what you're focused on right now may be showing up somewhere else in your chart. All right, but thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time and attention, and I am grateful that you share some of it with me, so thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and dive in here with the passing influences, sort of the position you're at the end of January going into early February, and that is with the Hanged Man. Okay, so being still, being quiet, assessing things from different perspectives, different angles, trying to reinterpret the world that you're familiar with and be creative and innovative, but at the same time observing, gathering information, looking for answers, trying to get some clarity on how things are, why they are the way they are, and how things connect in ways that you didn't see from your previous perspective. Okay, so trying to open your mind and be receptive to a new understanding of how things work and how they're connected, considering how you want to move forward into the future and looking at the sort of the scope of the reality that you're dealing with in those respects. The present influences, so beginning of February going into mid-February, Eight of Wands. Okay, so it's related to strength, to endurance, to integrity and consistency, and how you show up with like whole heart to present yourself to situations. And so the strength of your character and integrity and actions. Wands are about your actions, your passions, your purpose, your motivations, and the things that you actually do to follow through on your decisions to come into alignment and into frequency with what it is you're trying to manifest. Eight of Wands is a lot of things happening all at once, a lot of communication all at once, possible travel. And also we are in, if you like working with the environmental influences, or the astrological influences, Eight of Wands is also, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm probably going to trip over my words throughout this video because we are in Mercury retrograde, and that does affect communications. It can confuse things, make things difficult to communicate, make things difficult to receive. It's also like the internet and communication as well. So I've been having technical difficulties with my speech and with my internet as well. So if that's happening for you and flaring up for you, you're not alone there. But this is a sign of swift activity and a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of options available to you. But in a Mercury retrograde, you want to take time to consider and make sure that you're aware of all of the details involved before following through on those actions. It's just if you choose to do so, if you like working with the astrological influences. Because of the confusion in communication, it's just a good idea to check the fine print before you commit. So keep that in mind. And then the oncoming influences is death, transformation, card of Scorpio. It may be helpful to speak to a Scorpio. But this is the ending of cycles and the transition to the opening up of the new cycles. So the transformation from what was into what will be. Right now we're in the space between. So all of those options and actions that you can consider, all of those perspectives that you're checking, that's going to serve you well moving into this transformative space coming up. But again, Mercury is in retrograde until, I believe, February 22nd. So take that time and the space and sort of the slowing down and the stalling of that communication to really look into the options and get a good handle on the lay of the land, the perspective that you're taking, the decision that you're making before you commit to it, and that'll leave you in a strong space of confidence to go through the other side of the transformation with death in the oncoming energy and out of the sort of stasis of the Hanged Man at the beginning of the reading. All right, so definitely signs of progress, development, opportunity, definitely showing up here, but take your time to consider the options and make sure that what is presented to you, that it is what you think it is, and it's not being misrepresented in any way. So take time to consider those things, because that's a whole lot of stuff to process all at once. So take the time to make sure that you know what the details of those things are. A little more information with the Hanged Man, and we have the Empress. So not only are you checking your perspectives and just observing and gathering information and being of open mind and intention in your observation, you're also, the Empress, you're also in a creative mode. So with all of that information that you're gaining, that perspective that you're broadening, and the options that you're opening up to, the connections that you're seeing that maybe you didn't see before, you're in a creative and an innovative space, okay? Because the Empress is the first point of bringing what is imaginary into reality, okay? So the Fool is willing to embark upon the unknown, into the unknown. The Magician incepts the ideas, the inception of the idea, and being capable to begin and setting out upon those ambitions. The High Priestess is about connecting to your intuition and seeking out that information or that experience that has been hidden from you up to this point. So the Empress takes all of that information and all of those feelings and all of that intuitive nature of those things and applies them to bring that from the internal into the external. All right, so this is Divine Feminine. It's also the card of Venus. Venus is in Aquarius right now with Jupiter and the Sun. So it's an expansive energy that's applying right now. And also it's not just for the individual, it's also for the collective as well. So what's good for the collective is good for the individual. What's good for the individual is good for the collective. The reciprocity of a cycle like that sort of self-replenishing flux of that kind of creation and that kind of growth and that kind of investment is open. And I mean, you're Libra, so you're very adept at ascertaining the lay of the land and how connections are made and how to use your influence and your awareness and your discernment in order to navigate spaces on that sort of broader spectrum from the micro out to the macro. So that's going to serve you well coming from a position like that. More information on this Eight of Wands, Temperance. All right, again, balance, equanimity, the flux of change, the flowing into and out of, in the space between where, what was is no more, but what will be is not yet. That space in between there, the space where the change occurs, the space of the alchemy, and having the patience with that process in order to navigate it, not trying to go too fast with the Eight of Wands. So hold steady, be alert, be attentive, be aware, be observant, be creative, but don't rush, don't go too fast and miss something or step into something that's going to be a hindrance rather than a help. Take your time within the process to allow the change to develop and become enriched with the time and space and circumstances that will be available to provide that for you. And then under Death, we have the Ten of Coins. This is transitioning and transforming into a firm establishment in the earth zone, the material realm. So this is your home, work, money, family, health. All right, this is also Sagittarius. It may be helpful to talk to a Sagittarius as well. They may also have some information. Sagittarius has just come up a lot in a lot of readings that I've done over the past couple weeks. I just feel like talking to a Sagittarius for somebody is going to be significant. Anyway, moving on from that, you are working towards establishment, a firm foundation, and a completion of a cycle, a closing of a chapter, because next is the call up to the next echelon. Okay, so you're seeking out this firm establishment and transforming into this from this point of waiting and checking the options and seeing things from a different angle. That's going to further reinforce this establishment for even greater potential and growth in the next phase of the development. So Libra's pretty strong here in this. Forever who's connecting with this, that's a strong, stable, acutely aware space to be existing at the moment. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. Okay, this is preparation and actively moving into connection and reciprocity and the nature of exchange within your decision, because this is the airspace again. And moving on to new shores, moving away from what no longer works, what no longer applies, what's already been developed, moving on from that onto the new shore, into the new development, the new potential, the new possibility. Okay, and navigating those waters from choppier waters in the emotional realm, a little bit more drama, a little bit more difficulty. That's probably why you've taken the time and the space with the Hanged Man, hanging out here with the Empress, to create and envision the future that you want to connect to, and taking the decision to move on to that new shore, to that new realm of experience and new opportunity and new potential. Lovely. Let's check in with where you are on the Enchanted Map. And that is the Spirit of Place. This is a beautiful card. Okay, oops. And with these cards, each one of these cards comes with a quote. And for Spirit of Place, it is authenticity is the essence of power. Okay, so let's see. When the Spirit of Place arrives in your reading, it says the answer to your query is the overarching theme of your circumstances. Okay, so that's probably what some of you were considering with this Hanged Man. What your circumstances actually are. Getting a real clear vision of what that is from every angle, from all perspectives, so that you can come up with a cohesive, coherent, balanced, balanced position of decision and consideration before you decide what next steps to take, because you have a lot of options available to you for your next actionable step, and you're taking the time to come to a clear point of discernment and judgment upon what that's actually going to be, based on what it is that you want to create in your own life for yourself and for your family and for your community, as well. So to enrich your own experience as well. Let's see. So this is your question about struggle. The answer is to relax and let go of the need to control the situation. If it's about finding love, then embodying love rather than chasing it or longing for it is the appropriate sort of application of that query. So once you find the essential truth that's underlying the question, or what it is that you're seeking, what it is that you're missing, that you're seeking to create or to come into a connection with, once you the core of that desire, of that purpose, of that longing is revealed to you, once you discover it in that aha moment. The Hanged Man is about seeking the aha moment and innovating, and building upon revelation. Once you find out what that is, then you'll find what the most efficient and effective response to that need or to that desire is going to be with the Spirit of Place. Okay, so once you find the essential truth that's underlying the question and identify it, you'll discover the answer that you've been looking for. The greatest power is in being authentic within that process. Okay, and considering that it's coming from you, it's not what somebody else is seeking for you, it's what you are seeking for yourself. Lovely. Okay, that is all that I have for you in this part. I've opened up a Patreon if you're interested in the extended readings. Extended readings are going to be available over there, so if you're interested in those, I'll put the link in the description below. Also, if you haven't checked in with Tea Time and Tarot, I'm doing a daily tarot journal Mondays through Fridays. You can check in there daily, every once in a while, once a week, on the weekends, whenever you like. It's just a general reading to consider what to think about or what to focus on or what to consider as you go about your day. I've been really enjoying the process. So you can check that out on the main page, or I'll link the playlist or a video at the end of this one. But that is all that I have for you. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment. If you want to support the channel, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I will either see you in the dailies or in the extendeds or in March for the general readings for March. Have a fantastic February. See you next time, Libra. Bye.